Simple ways to teach your kids how to say please and thank you. Hey there, I'm Charlotte with Colorful Teaching for You. Thank you so much for joining me. I love this topic because it's so important to teach our kids about manners, right? In this day and age, we find that so many people are not using manners, and it can come across as kind of rude. And if your kids are not using manners and somebody misinterprets what they're saying or how they're saying it, they may think that your child is being rude and respond in kind. And that's not really what we want, do we? So we want to be able to teach them manners, but I bet that you already are teaching them manners, and you might be thinking, well, it's not sticking and they're not using it. And this could be because for some kids, it's just too many things. It's too much to say, too much to do, or some just don't understand how to use it, and so they don't use it, and then it doesn't become a habit, and so it never stays with them. So what we're going to do today is only focus on two concepts: please and thank you. Nothing else right now, because it can be way too overwhelming for a child, right? We want to be able to use this, have them learn it, and then have them create it into a routine so that it sticks with them. Once it does, then we can kind of move on to the next stages of having manners. Okay, so let's focus on just these two in the next 4 steps. They're really simple and easy to follow. So let's do this. The first step is model it. Okay, so instead of constantly telling your child, which I've heard lots of people do, is you need to say please, you need to say thank you. You give them a chocolate bar and they just look at you and you say, you have to say please, you have to say thank you, right? Is that going to help them? Probably not, because it just looks like you're scolding them. So instead, when you give it to them, before you give it to them, you can use the word please, or you can say thank you. Let's use an everyday kind of activity. So if your child is playing with toys and you need to move on, you can say, please clean up your toys. And when they're done, you can say, thank you for cleaning up your toys. Okay, notice though, I stress the word please and thank you. I did that on purpose. And that's because I want you to be able to do that as well. When you're talking to your kids, stress the please, stress the thank you, because that way they can hear it. It's not just, please pick up your toys. It's not just part of another sentence or just a regular sentence. It's please. They're hearing that word. That's the main word that they're hearing. Thank you. That's what they're hearing. And so they start to be able to associate, oh, how do I use this? Where do I use this? They start to be able to formulate ideas there. So I'd like you to stress those terms, okay? And then I want you to use it as frequently as you possibly can so that they can hear it more and more often. The next thing is explain it. So a lot of times you can just say it, and they won't really get it. Right? You want to show them, how do we use this and why are we using this? Because then it personalizes it for them. So let's talk about it right now. Please. We use the term please to when we're asking for something or we're making a request. We say thank you when someone has done or said, well, someone has done something nice for us or given us something nice, or when someone has said something kind to us. Really, it's when someone has been thoughtful toward us, right? That's when we're saying thank you. And it's really a form of being polite and respectful, right? We don't just say, when we say respectful, sometimes kids think it's for only our elders. Really, when we're being respectful of everyone. So it could be, I could be an adult, I'm being respectful of you as a child, right? And I'm saying thank you. You might be a 16-year-old child, and another one might be a 4-year-old child. The 16-year-old is still being respectful of the 4-year-old child. Being polite has no bounds when it comes to age, okay? The next is, let's actually use an example first. I want your kids to hear this, where I could say, okay, pick up your toys, or good work. It kind of sounds abrupt, doesn't it? But when I change it and I say, please pick up your toys, even the please makes it sound nicer. Thank you for doing this. Good work, right? You're hyping it up, and it sounds so much kinder, so much nicer. Now the next thing is practice it. That's step number 3. So some kids, they may not know how to pronounce the words or when to use it. So I've created a very short video where I've talked about how to pronounce the words please and thank you, and when to use it when you're playing, for example. Because I made a video about friendship, and I thought this would be a great way of being polite during during playtime. So this is a great video to show your children if they're going through speech delay, or if they're just not sure how to pronounce it. Go to check out the link in the description where it says full episode. Then go to step number 3. There's a little mini video there. You can watch it with your kids and then practice it after. Or if your kids want you to be there, then maybe step out of the room and put that video on and then replay it for them again, because I asked them in the video to practice alongside me. Okay, so use this format, come back to it, revisit it, practice with them over and over again. The reason I'm doing it with them instead of you doing it with them is because a lot of times kids will start to tune out, the parent or the teacher, but a lot of kids just enjoy watching a video, so I made it in the video for them. And then when you actually talk and you stress the please and you stress the thank you, you start to be able to put both sides together, and it starts to make more sense, and then they start to use it more. So the more frequently you do both these steps, actually all of these steps, the easier it becomes for your kids. And the 4th step is praise it. So I want you to praise your kids for using the words please and thank you, even if they do it incorrectly, because when they're starting out, they may just say, thank you for everything. I don't know. They might just randomly say, please, I don't know, please, please, this. And you're like, what? No, that doesn't make any sense. But when they first start saying it, they'll just say for anything. Let them go for it. Praise them, wait, don't correct them in the moment, come back to it later on, and then correct them later by explaining it to them. Go back to steps 1, 2, and 3. But in that moment, praise, 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 because it's going to help them feel good. It's going to want to make them continue to practice, and over time it's going to stick. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's recap really quickly. We looked at the reasons that we're practicing please and thank you, and then we looked at 4 different ways to do that. First step, model it. Number 2 is explain it. Number 3 is practice it, and number 4 is praise it. Again, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. In the meantime, remember to create, experience, and teach from the heart. Take care, my friends. Bye.